going on, Jerome's? We're back again, taking a look at the Vikings quarterback big board, week 15. Another beautiful weekend of college football in the books. A couple games went down, a bunch of them got canceled, as well as you got some conference title games in the offing this weekend. So let's get into the list. First up, so Trevor Lawrence, Clemson on the bye. Saturday, ACC title game against number 2 Notre Dame, which is a de facto playoff game. Notre Dame already beat Clemson in the regular season. Of course, Trevor Lawrence wasn't in that game, and we'll see what happens. Because this is starting to become Trevor Lawrence time of year, where win the ACC title, get into the playoff, make the dance, and then just pad up and stack up 2 more high leverage games. Where does it really add to the mystique of Trevor Lawrence raising up another natty? So that'd be 2 out of 3. Maybe. But, still easily consensus number 1. Probably the most polished quarterback prospect since Andrew Luck, since Peyton Manning, since John Elway. All the superlatives are legit. Number 2, Justin Fields. Number 4, Ohio State. Michigan game got canceled. It's the first time that Jim Harbaugh didn't lose to Ohio State in ever, so cool. Saturday, Big Ten title game against number 14, Northwestern. Now, Pat Fitzgerald, that Northwestern defense is pretty damn legit, and I think that Ohio State could be in for a pretty tough game. So last time that Fields was in a big-time spot, Indiana, they brought a great game plan up against them, made a couple mistakes, but liked how he rebounded in game. So Fields, big time game, and if they get into the playoff dance yet again, we'll see how Ohio State does there. Number 3, Zach Wilson, 18 BYU, up 1 spot, 28-14 win versus San Diego State University, 26-35, 303 yards, 3 touchdowns, 89.5 QBR. Now, nice recovery from the Coastal Carolina situation, but you're back at home. You cap off the regular season, 10 wins. It's a nice season for BYU. Now, I think that the Coastal Carolina loss probably put them out of contention for a New Year's Six bowl game, but either way, I mean, national following, I think that any bowl committee would love to have BYU as well as Zach Wilson being the star. It's going to get a ton of eyeballs on that game, and then Wilson will have one more chance to show what he can do for a national audience. Number 4, Mac Jones. Number 1, Alabama, up 1 spot, 52-3, drubbing at Arkansas. 24-29, 208 yards, 0 touchdowns, 91.1 QBR. Now, this was the perfect game manager game, just handing off to Najee Harris and Robinson Jr., rumbled for 3 touchdowns. Devonta Smith really busted this thing open because it started out kind of slow, and maybe you thought that Arkansas in Fayetteville might have a chance, but then Devonta Smith busted out that punt return for a touchdown. And then, Mac Jones didn't really have to do much, and Saban didn't ask him to do much. So, I mean, this is the privilege that Mac Jones does have, just having all that awesome talent around him. But if he lands in the right spot in the pros, I don't necessarily see Mac Jones as a first-round pick, but if he's somewhere in the second round, or if he's in a situation where he's able to sit behind, say, Phillip Rivers for a year, say maybe Tom Brady down in Tampa for a year, I think that him being surrounded by a ton of talent, especially early in his career, could really build him up until he's able to expand out his portfolio. Because I really do like Mac Jones. I do like his pro chances just a little bit more than Kyle Trask, but we'll see on Sunday as Florida and Bama square off in the SEC title game. Number 5, Kyle Trask. So speaking of Florida, so he's down 2 spots. So 37-34 loss against LSU. Now, this loss isn't on him. I mean, who throws a shoe? But LSU had a great game plan against number 11. Trask, pretty spotty in the first half. LSU really baited him. Did throw a pick 6 in this game, but 29-47 for 474, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks, 64.9 QBR. And I mean, LSU, even though they're having a down year after the talent suck after pretty much everyone went into the NFL. But Coach O had a great defensive game plan for Kyle Trask. And even though Trask has been tearing up the SEC this year, and I think probably is still the Heisman frontrunner, I think him and Jones are 1-1. Trask, even though he had a meh game, Jones didn't really do a whole lot, didn't have to do a whole lot in Bama's win either. But this one, Coach O, great game plan, and then we'll see what happens in the SEC title game against Bama. Because, I mean, Nick Saban, probably the greatest defensive back guru in college football history, if not football history overall. So he's obviously going to have a phenomenal, just a little something for Kyle Trask on Saturday. No pants for Trey Lance, chilling at 6. Desmond Ridder, number 8, Cincinnati. So the AAC title game against Tulsa got postponed, so that gets bumped to Saturday. And another big spot for Desmond Ridder. I think Tulsa has a phenomenal defense as well. Would be nice for him to show up and show out, and then get into a New Year's Six game, and then just do his damn thing on the national stage. Number 8, Ian Book. Number 2, Notre Dame, up 1 spot because King went down 1. But it happens. Saturday, ACC title game against number 3, Clemson. Back at it. Number 9, Derek King. Number 10, Miami, down 1 spot. So 62-26 loss versus 17 North Carolina. 18-30, 239, 2 touchdowns, 1 pick, a 61.5 quarterback rating, also ran for 53 yards. Now, this was more that UNC just completely ran all over the Canes. Like, it was just, it was not great. And King, all year, has just been pulling the Hurricanes out of tough situations and just couldn't really come back from this. So this is more about Mac Brown and the Tar Heels than it was about Miami, but is what it is. Number 10, Sam Ehlinger. Game at Kansas got canceled, so Texas season, regular season in the books. We'll see what happens with the bowl game. Number 11, Brock Purdy, 7, Iowa State on bye this week. Big 12 title game against number 11, Oklahoma. Potentially could be a shootout. Well, it is going to be a shootout because, I mean, it's Oklahoma, so it's going to be a lot of fun. 12, Kellen Mond, number 5, Texas A&M. Ole Miss game got postponed. Saturday, they're going to be at Tennessee. Now, there have been some thought maybe Bama tries to pull a fast one and opts out of the SEC title game because they would be guaranteed a playoff spot either way, and then potentially the SEC could get 2 teams into the dance, but probably not. I mean, there's still an outside shot. I guess if, well, Texas A&M would have to beat Tennessee by 70, which is like possible. And then Notre Dame and Clemson are going at it. Maybe if Northwestern knocks off Ohio State, maybe, but probably not. 14, Jamie Newman, Georgia. Wake Forest is chilling at 13. And then 14, Dustin Crum, Kent State. New addition to the big board. So game against Ohio got canceled. He only played 4 games this season in some truncated action. But this year, completing 73.5% of his passes, 1,181 yards passing, 12 touchdowns, 2 picks. 6'3", 207. Decent arm, underrated as a runner. I think that, I mean, it's probably 50-50 if he'll be drafted, 50-50 with Cristobal. I think that if the Vikings did take a 7th-round flyer on him, after potentially addressing the quarterback spot, whether it's early with a guy like Wilson or Trey Lance, or middle rounds, Desmond Ridder, Ian Book, Derek King, Kellen Mond, I would be in. I absolutely would be in, just in terms of a guy who, decent arm, takes care of the football, and could potentially develop into a higher end backup in this league. I mean, getting that in the 7th round, that's important. You don't have to. Well, if the 7th round pick isn't a starter, All Pro, Hall of Famer, then it's a failure. Now, if you get a decent young backup, serviceable guy in the 7th round, I think that's a bonus. I would take Dustin Crum 10 times out of 10 over Nate Stanley in the 7th round if they're in the same draft. Number 15, Tanner Morgan, down 1 spot because Crum is entering the lineup. But 24-17 win at Nebraska. Woo! Ski ma. 17-30 for a $181, 1 touchdown, 57.5 QBR. Rashad Bateman opted out again, and then also Mo Ibrahim. It was his show again, 2 touchdowns. So